Very good evening and welcome along to Al Awal Park. We are in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia this evening for the EA Sports FC Super Cup final, and it is a derby della Madonnina in the Saudi Arabian capital. Inter against Milan. You're in the company of Patrick Kendrick alongside former defender Manuel Pascali. Good evening, Manuel.
Good evening, Patrick, and a very good evening, everyone. What a wonderful night of football we got here in Riyadh. The first piece of silverware will be lifted tonight, and we got all the ingredients for what that could be an unforgettable night of football. It's not just a derby, it's a final. This is a huge one, especially considering what just happened not even a year ago, with Inter reaching the historical 2 stars in face of their city rivals.
Indeed, Inter won their 20th Scudetto at San Siro, albeit with Milan as the home team. That was in matchday 33 last season. These two teams finished as the top 2 in Serie A, hence why they qualified for the EA Sports FC Super Cup in the first place. Inter as league champions, Milan as runners-up in Serie A. The 2 cup finalists, incidentally, have fallen by the wayside. Juventus, the holders of the domestic cup, went out to Milan. Atalanta, the runners-up in the Coppa Italia, were vanquished by Inter on Thursday night. Milan have had 24 hours less rest time, something that their new head coach Sergio Conceição has referenced, albeit he said that they are not looking for excuses, and that is what they're playing for tonight. There is a blue and a red ribbon. The black will remain whatever happens. We'll see whether it's the Nerazzurri, the black and blue of Inter, or the Rossoneri, the red and black of Milan, that will triumph this evening. Simone Inzaghi has been there and done it. 5 times the winner of this competition. He's won 3 on the spin as Inter head coach. He is already the most decorated coach in the history of this relatively new competition. It's only been running for the best part of 35 years. Milan won the first ever edition, Inter won the second, and the Nerazzurri have also claimed each of the last 3 against 3 different opponents. Juventus in 2022, which was the 2021 edition, Milan a year later, and then Napoli most recently. The top 2 in Serie A last season. Now Inter and Milan go head-to-head in Riyadh with the EA Sports FC Super Cup on the line. The Nerazzurri won the Scudetto by beating Milan, but after coming out on top in September in the league, the Rossoneri want to win this one with more silverware on the line. It was a winning start for Sergio Conceição in the Milan dugout, having beaten Juventus. How he would love to defeat Inter in only his 2nd match in charge. We will have a winner tonight. If it's level after 90 minutes, we will go straight to penalties. The derby della Madonnina, albeit in a different venue, Riyadh, for Inter against Milan, the EA Sports FC Super Cup. Wonderful drone shots here at Al Awal Park. And this is a big match for both sides, not only because it's the first piece of silverware of the season and Inter have made a habit of sweeping up this particular trophy, but also because neither team will want to lose a final, particularly against their cross-city rivals. We're thousands of kilometres away from San Siro, but the rivalry is as intense as ever. Inter make just 1 change from Thursday's win over Atalanta. Marcus Thuram came off injured in that game at half-time. His place tonight is taken by Mehdi Taremi. Lautaro Martinez is out of form, but he does boast 8 goals against Milan on his CV. He'll be hoping to add to that tally this evening. The Milan captaincy has been a subject for debate all season long, including with Conceição's predecessor, Paulo Fonseca. It's the second match under Sergio Conceição and the second time that Mike Maignan has been given the armband. He'll be trying to keep Lautaro quiet this evening. We have a Milanese match official. Simone Sozza takes charge of this fixture, as he has done in the past. Our video assistant referee, meantime, is Valerio Marini. And a solitary switch for Milan as well from Friday's victory over Juventus. Ismail Benacer misses out with Musa preferred in the double pivot alongside Youssouf Fofana. Rafael Leao is fit enough for a place on the bench. We might well see him later on, but it's Alvaro Morata who leads the line. We might be far from San Siro, a long way from Milan, but one of the iconic inter-chances currently being attempted in Riyadh, with a backdrop of drums as well. Then again, Milan have the claim of being the more popular team, the most popular team in this part of the world. There's a great appetite for sport and football in Saudi Arabia. Once again, this country hosts a big match in the Italian game. Milan won the most recent derby. How they'd love to make it back-to-back victories in this fixture, having been beaten in 6 on the spin under Stefano Pioli, lest we forget. Stefano Pioli, who is now working in this part of the world. That's why there's a slight delay of a kick-off. We are just getting the telone off the pitch. Big sheet which is draped over the pitch. Two former teammates in the dugout on opposite sides this evening. Simone Inzaghi and Sergio Conceição played together at Lazio. They have come up against one another in the past as head coaches. It was Simone Inzaghi who came out on top on that occasion. We'll see who prevails this evening. Inter are chasing 2 bits of history this evening. The Nerazzurri want to claim a 9th Super Cup to move level with Juventus, and they also want to lift this trophy for the 4th year running. We are up and running in the EA Sports FC Super Cup, and it is the Derby della Madonnina, albeit not as you normally know it. Inter against Milan in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Manuel Pascali, and immediately the Rossoneri on the front foot. Good evening once again.
Good evening, Patrick. Yes, a huge game. And Milan are starting well, using the usual left side, where they always trying to attack without Leao. Pulisic will play in front of Theo Hernandez. Will be interesting to see Jimenez, the young Jimenez, playing on that side against Dimash, Di Marco and Bastoni.
Saw Simone Inzaghi's record against Milan there. That does include his games that he took charge of when he was with Lazio, his former club. Spent several seasons with them. But since he's been Inter boss, his Nerazzurri side have tended to dominate the derby, so much so that won 6 in a row against Milan when they were still under Stefano Pioli, but he's already taken charge of one edition of this fixture earlier on this season, albeit against a different Milan head coach, same nationality. Paulo Fonseca won in September, thanks to Matteo Gabbia. Tonight it's the turn of another Lusophone tactician in the shape of Sergio Conceição. Inter were hugely impressive against Atalanta. The 2-0 scoreline doesn't really tell the whole story. Carnesecchi was required several times. Bastoni reacting there to what he felt was a late challenge from Alex Jimenez. There was a derby yesterday, one of the biggest in Italian football, if not the biggest in terms of rivalry. Roma against Lazio. And that's Barella's ball forward. We haven't necessarily seen those challenges flying in this game, Manuel.
Yeah, the last night one was typical Roma derby, plenty of passion. You know, Patrick, two huge absences in the both starting 11. Rafael Leao on one side, Thuram is the other big loss for Inter. We know how important he has been, especially this season, with Lautaro not being in his best form so far.
Lautaro did address that in the pre-match press conference. It was Mkhitaryan on the ball here who was put up by the Inter press office on matchday -1 ahead of the semi-final against Atalanta. Sergio Conceição has defied the flu, a high temperature, scored the winning goal in the Super Cup that he won in 1998 with Lazio. Won plenty of trophies during his time as a player with the Biancocelesti. Also played for Inter, had 2 seasons with the Nerazzurri, 2 goals in 65 appearances, but having been tipped in the past to be possible Inter head coach, he's now been installed as Milan boss. Mkhitaryan. Barella has time to measure across, well stopped by Fofana. There you can hear the cheers, which do seem to suggest that there are possibly more Milan supporters inside this stadium than there are Inter fans.
That was something that Simone Inzaghi worked on, moved the ball side to side. Dumfries was blocking Fofana. The ball reached Barella, meant to serve in the box.
Dumfries was the hero of the semi-final. He got both goals against Atalanta. It's his long throw. Taremi tried to cushion it down for Barella. That's Bastoni. Lautaro is loitering. Away by Fofana. Morata's gone down, but then got to his feet. We saw him get injured in the warm-up as well. A stray arm from his teammate Youssouf Fofana seemed to almost poke him in the eye. Thankfully nothing which prevented him from being in the starting lineup as expected. Emerson Royal nearly won it back high up the pitch, but now Milan are short-numbered defensively. Fofana doing his usual tidying up.
Yeah, that's what Lautaro is doing more compared to last season. Coming short and receive the ball into the pocket, playing like a number 10. Thuram was the main target up front.
Bastoni gives it away. Fofana. Morata for Rangers. He's got Pulisic in support. Bisected well. Pulisic nearly got there, having won a penalty against Juventus, which he then scored. Christian Pulisic, who was the penalty taker under Paulo Fonseca. Not that you'd necessarily know it after that big debacle in Florence when a couple of players missed, Theo Hernandez and Tammy Abraham. Here's Lautaro Martinez bringing it under control. Fine defending from Malik Chow.
And Patrick, it's the second time that Inter, in a space of a couple of minutes, are trying this loop ball over the top. You can see here, Theo Hernandez has to be tighter on Malik Chow, because this is an interesting ball. Good touch by Lautaro, maybe a little bit heavy, but a brilliant tackle by Chocos Moignan. Looked like he was a bit late.
He might well have saved the effort, Mike Maignan, by narrowing the angle, but did appear that Lautaro was going to get there first. Fine defending from Chow, who's been chosen as the partner alongside Tomori. So no Gabbia, despite his winning goal in the previous derby. Di Marco's cross, it breaks the way of Barella. Away by Pulisic this time. Inter will have watched on powerlessly as Napoli won in Florence, so Napoli still very much in the Scudetto conversation along with Atalanta, albeit Inter will feel they've landed a psychological blow on Ladea by beating them in this competition. Milan's title aspirations long since extinguished. Seems like Sergio Conceição's brief will be to get them into the top 4 and Champions League football, especially with the English Premier League front runners to get the European performance slot. Morata nearly won it there. So whereas Italy had 5 teams in this season's Champions League, they might not necessarily have the same number next time around. Çalhanoğlu, lovely ball for Bisek. Away goes Dumfries. Chow coming across, that was shoulder to shoulder. And he's made a good start, the German.
Yeah, good defending by Chow. They are helping Theo Hernandez. Big switch of play from Inter, finding Bisek.
There is the newly installed president of Serie A, who took over from Lorenzo Cassini. And Al Awal Park playing host to all 3 matches here. Inter-Atalanta on Thursday, Juventus-Milan on Friday, and tonight the Derby della Madonnina. Once Inter went through, we had a very interesting prospect of either the Milan derby or the Derby d'Italia had Juventus beaten Milan, and despite leading with that terrific goal from Kenan Yildiz, Milan came storming back. A Pulisic penalty and an own goal from the unfortunate Federico Gatti.
You know, AC Milan is trying to play from the back. Inter are pressing really high.
Milan have kept possession. Fofana nearly lost it, now he has. Taremi, though, has given it straight to Pulisic. Milan delighted to have him fit and available again, having missed several weeks through injury. Sergio Conceição is still with 4 or 5 players who aren't 100% fit. He's also referenced the fact that Milan have had 24 hours fewer to prepare for this match compared with Inter. He's a very good communicator, Sergio Conceição. He said, I'm not looking for excuses. Pulisic trying to get him behind meantime.
Same as Inter, AC Milan are trying to surprise the Inter back 3 over the top.
Fofana, Reinders for Theo Hernandez. Now it's Morata. Emerson Royal getting forward. This is Jimenez. Emerson with the ball in, too close to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, decent ball in by Morata, is in between Bisek and De Vrij. Well, the favorite to win the aerial challenge. It's interesting to see Jimenez's position when Inter are building up, playing it like a proper wing back, helping Emerson Royal.
Handball given there against Victor Mori. Alex Jimenez was recruited from Real Madrid. Milan paid the option to make his permanent deal into a definitive transfer. And he was initially slated as a fullback option, what they call a vice Theo Hernandez, back up to Theo as left back, but Fonseca played him further forward against Roma. Now Conceição's doing likewise. And a reminder of the roll of honour in this competition. Juventus leading the way with 9. Inter could match their tally should they win this evening. Theo Hernandez. Pulisic. That's a clever ball. Reinders now. Still Reinders. Not sure whether that was a shot or a cross. Either way, Sommer had his near post covered.
Yeah, this is the player that can make things happen for AC Milan. Wonderful run. Brilliant ball in for Reinders. Tight angle. Should have done better, but look here. Çalhanoğlu has been caught ball watching. And here, obviously, he wanted to play the ball inside the box.
Risky strategy as well from Stefan de Vrij, who tried to push up and didn't manage to play the offside trap. Here's Barella. Again, linking up with Bastoni. We've seen that time and again down the years. Now Barella looks for Di Marco. That's another of the big switches of play. Nice first touch. Mkhitaryan. Çalhanoğlu. Boos whilst Inter have possession, so a reminder that this crowd is predominantly Rossoneri persuasion.
Obviously, Patrick, without Thuram, Inter on the paper doesn't have the player that will run the channels, and we've seen a couple of times Barella doing that.
Bastoni. Mkhitaryan going down off the ball. Inter have the advantage and they have Taremi in possession. Now Barella looking for Mehdi Taremi. He's found him too, and the header's off target.
Yeah, let's speak about first Barella ball. Okay, wonderful one, but look Lautaro movement. Was dragging both centre halves, freeing Taremi, and from there he should have done better, at least hit the target.
Manuel, you played centre-back. If Chow is already tracking Lautaro. Why is Tomori then going across? Was he ball watching, or have they not necessarily decided who's picking up the Inter number 10?
I think they have to communicate in between themselves, both the centre halves, because they are matching the same run, and then probably even Emerson Royal has to be alert and track that run. Leave maybe Di Marco is less dangerous than Taremi.
Bastoni, clever ball for Taremi this time. Tomori dealt with it. Emerson under pressure. Well held by Musa. It was his cross which prompted the own goal off Gatti. Musa's got pace. Did Çalhanoğlu play the ball? He did.
Yeah, sure, we're gonna watch it with the replay, but certainly in the middle of the park, AC Milan's got legs. Probably more legs than Inter, because Musa, Fofana, Reinders, plenty of engine. Yeah, Musa decent. We know he's quick, but Çalhanoğlu, I think, did well. At the end, we're going to see if he caught Musa legs.
Well, the decision has been made, so if this were to be the wrong decision, it can't be changed now. I'm not sure he necessarily did get the ball.
I think he touched the ball first, but then Musa stolen the ball from the Turkish midfielder. So this could have been easily an AC Milan fault.
Well, it might well have been a yellow card too for the former Milan player, lest we forget, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, who has a very different record in this fixture depending on which side he's played in it. He lost 5 of 8 derbies during his time with Milan. He's won 7 of his 12 as an Inter player. Here is Çalhanoğlu again. Gets it back from Sommer, albeit it was fizzed into him. Chow. Speaking of derby records, it's been a very tough fixture for Mike Maignan as well. He's conceded 17 goals in 9 derbies before tonight, averaging almost 2 against when he plays against Inter for Milan. Was a 5-1 in amongst all that. Emerson Royal, Jimenez couldn't make it stick. It breaks for Fofana, and now Reinders. What a piece of skill! It just lacked the finish, but he is playing at the top of his game.
Wonderful, Patrick. Some skills from the Dutch player. Look here, walking with his... Look, and there is trying to stolen the time of the save from Sommer. If the ball was hitting the target, no chance, but he's becoming one of the top midfielders around Europe.
He really is. Another goal in that game against Roma, having got the winner at the Bentegodi against Verona. He's the joint top scorer for Milan. He was out on his own with 9 across all competitions. Pulisic matched his tally with that penalty on Friday evening. Here is Pulisic. Milan without a single Italian player in their ranks this evening. Very good spot from my colleague Manuel Pascali when the teams broke. Here's Emerson Royal. That's a corner to Milan. No Italians, but they do have a pair of Frenchmen, a pair of Italians, a pair of Americans, a pair of Spaniards.
Yeah, talking about Reinders' position now, he said in a recent interview, playing with the Fofana is completely different. He's got more chance to join forward.
In fact, it's 3 Frenchmen: Fofana, Theo Hernandez and Mike Maignan. What can Milan do from the set piece here? Did score with Gambia from a free kick when these sides met in September in the league. Theo Hernandez with the ball in. Sommer stayed at home, and it's rather wasteful. Morata trying to keep it in play. Not sure he managed it. The whistle does now go. Is it a goal kick or a throw-in? Goal kick.
Yeah, Theo Hernandez, I think first thought was trying to play the ball near, close, trying to find a 2 against 1.
Beppe Marotta used to be CEO for Sport. He still conducts that role, but he's now into president as well. Whereas it used to be his former colleague Alessandro Antonello, who's moved on now, who was in charge of the corporate side of things. Marotta will keep an eye on the bottom line, and we shouldn't overlook the fact that this trophy can be very lucrative as well for the winners. Whoever comes out on top tonight will take home €9.5 million. The runners-up will come away with €6.7 million. Emerson Royal hasn't dealt with it. Does Mkhitaryan want the corner? He does.
Yes, clever. This is a decent ball in. It's not Di Marco's attacking that area now. It's Mkhitaryan, because Di Marco was keeping Jimenez quite deep. Attacking over the back of the full-back is always a solution. Long ball in, and now we say this so many times, every single time, tight matches on set piece, and we know Inter, how dangerous they are.
Di Marco has twice scored against Milan, including in this part of the world, albeit a different venue. Went in to beat Milan 3-0 a couple of years ago in this very competition. Short by Çalhanoğlu. In it comes from him. Fofana had to stretch. Lautaro Martinez was waiting at the near post.
Yeah, because they work well from the corner flag. Decent ball in, but Fofana show again his awareness.
Lautaro Martinez has not scored in a derby since the second leg of the Champions League semi-final a couple of seasons ago now. Interestingly, Sergio Conceição played both legs of Champions League semi-final back in the early part of this century. The previous iteration of that two-legged match, what they called the Euro Derby, the Euro Derby.
Yeah, their long throw from Bastoni, Magnan, easy.
Here's Jimenez running at Mkhitaryan. Still Jimenez. Theo Hernandez with the shot, and that could have easily gone past Sommer. Morata was offside though.
Yeah, not sure if the Spanish centre forward was in an offside position, but this decent job by Jimenez. Yeah, he was. But he's not scared about taking responsibilities, Jimenez. He likes it. He's very good 1-against-1.
If Milan don't have any Italians in their starting 11, Inter, who were initially formed as a split from Milan due to a disagreement over fielding foreign players. They have 3 Italians in their side and 3 mainstays of the Azzurri, the national team. Di Marco, Bastoni and Barella. Forward by Sommer. Nicely done by Tomori to find Reinders, whose touch for once was heavy. Bastoni for Çalhanoğlu. Lautaro coming deep, so he can run at the Milan back line. Fofana, too strong and too quick for Lautaro Martinez, which will only hammer home that point that he's not quite at the top of his game at the moment.
Yeah, he's not, but brilliant job again by Fofana. He's doing some incredible dirty work in the middle of the park. That's why Reinders, or every single player that's playing in the middle of the park, can play with that freedom. Fofana is always behind their shoulders.
Fonseca, before his departure, he was dismissed incidentally following the 1-1 draw against Roma, but he had frequently referenced Fofana as one of a kind in this Milan squad, essentially irreplaceable in the work he does in that holding midfield role. Jimenez with the ball in, away by De Vrij. This is Emerson Royal. Nicely done to find Musa. Fofana now. But it is a Milan side looking far more confident.
Yeah, don't forget Fofana in the last couple of Serie A games provided a couple of assists for Reinders' goals.
He did indeed. Tomori has been given another chance with Milan. Was linked with a move away this month, potentially. Juventus is a destination. Sergio Conceição said he wants to have a look at everyone in the squad. Tomori had to hurry there with Taremi trying to pinch the ball back. Emerson Royal seemingly the only option at right back for the moment. Jimenez. That's careless. Morata. That's a foul by Morata on Bastoni, but Inter have looked a little bit casual at times in their defensive third.
Yeah, because they don't have that option, as we said before, with Thuram. Sometimes under pressure they could play the channel, and Thuram, he was incredible this season to reach every single ball and keep it. Now under pressure, they didn't look like as sharp as usual in the first 21st minute.
best part of a week off now. Inter, that is. They're in action on the 12th of January. They go to the Penso to take on Venezia. That's match day 20, incidentally. Match day 19 will be played against Bologna in midweek. Milan have won it back with Yunus Musa. Might test Bastoni for pace here. He has. Musa with the ball in. De Vrij again had to stretch, but he invariably gets to those balls, Stefan De Vrij. Barella didn't want it there, but now he retrieves the loose ball. Keep an eye on Dumfries. It's Taremi meantime. Lautaro on the move. Mehdi Taremi carrying it a long way. Di Marco. Good save from Maignan. It was nearly another goal against Milan in Saudi Arabia for Federico Di Marco.
Yeah, brilliant from Inter in transition. Good move again by Lautaro, freeing some room for Di Marco. From there, every time he's got the chance to hit the target, he always find a way. And here, this is a decent save from the French goalkeeper, who's not happy with his defenders.
Milan had been disciplined up until then. Discipline is one of the main characteristics that Conceição wants to see, and he's unhappy there, the Milan head coach, with how easily Inter took that corner short to Di Marco.
And I think it's not the first time that Inzaghi's not happy, because Lautaro, I think, was unmarked in the middle of the 6-yard box. But it's not the first time that when Inter goes to play the corner kick in two players, only just one AC Milan player is there.
Dumfries with the long throw. Çalhanoğlu climbed. Pulisic goes down. Milan free kick, says Simone Sozza. There has been previous between Sergio Conceição and Simone Inzaghi. They were teammates together at Lazio. They played 33 times. Both of them have spoken about the role of their head coach at the time, Sven-Göran Eriksson, the late Sven-Göran Eriksson. What a mentor he was. Inzaghi in particular saying, if we become coaches, most of the credit goes to Eriksson, especially because there are plenty from that side that did go into coaching. Another look at that clash between Çalhanoğlu and Pulisic. But the last time that they met, when Inter played against Porto in the knockout stages of the Champions League, en route to the final, Sergio Conceição refused to shake Inzaghi's hand after the match. What a strike that was from Di Marco meantime.
Yeah, it's incredible. His technique is out of this world. Every time with his left, can do everything he wants. Inzaghi he's not quite happy.
Does seem to be water under the bridge. Fabio Capello is there, who Inzaghi moved past in the Super Cup rankings last year. Marcello Lippi won his. That's what Simone Inzaghi's trying to emulate. It was 4 in a row. It would be for Simone Inzaghi with Inter. Lippi winning all 4 with the same club, with Juventus. No team has won 4 in a row. Milan with 3 in a row in the early 90s. Lippi won 4 with Juventus, albeit not consecutively. Sergio Conceição is still not looking 100%. He's been very candid about having the flu, being under the weather. He's only come out of the team hotel, the Hilton, to conduct training sessions and media briefings as well. Theo Hernandez, clever driven ball. Emerson Royal with Fofana to his left. Emerson's cross came off Dumfries and then back off Emerson and out for a goal kick.
That's really something AC Milan worked on, but Dumfries is alert, focused. Yes, last touch came from Fofana, and now Inter will start again with a goal kick.
Sommer hasn't had a save to make, especially with Morata in an offside position. Çalhanoğlu nearly lost out there. Might yet lose possession. Instead he finds Mkhitaryan. Di Marco looking for Barella. It's a clever run. We've seen that before.
Yeah, probably was just a couple of meters offside, but he's doing this every single match, but his times are perfect.
Nicely done by Pulisic. Reinders again running beyond the Inter back line. Reinders. Pulisic eluding Bisek. Pulisic keeps it in play. Teo Hernandez. Ciao. Milan weren't great in the first half against Juventus. They improved in the second period, but they seem to have picked up where they left off from that. Much more self-belief. No one in the middle for Teo Hernandez's cross beyond Morata. And Jimenez forced Di Marco to try and clear that.
I think, Patrick, Reinders and Musa position are creating troubles in the Inter defenders, because either Bissek on one side and Bastoni has every time to step in to pick one of these two players, leaving Morata every time one against one with the fly.
That was careless from Inter, doubly so. Bastoni's volley clearance went straight to a Milan player, and then Lautaro's committed a foul on Emerson Royal in what has been a tight game so far. As we know, set pieces can be all important.
Yeah, Patrick, it's not the first time that Inter unusually are making a couple of technical mistakes, technically a couple of wrong passes. Now AC Milan got a chance. They're not the most physical, less physical than Inter, but you never know when you got this man on the ball.
Reinders with the set piece. Çalhanoğlu headed it clear, so too did Dumfries, but straight to Pulisic. Fofana closed down quickly by Barella.
Especially, Patrick, considering that they lost the last derby on the set piece at the last gasp of the game.
Not sure whether he's necessarily a superstitious man, Sergio Conceição, but if he were, he might be tempted to throw Gabia on late in this match if the scoreline were level. Has spoken about good fortune, though, when asked whether he feels lucky with the first two games he's had as Milan boss, Juventus and then Inter. He said, if you stay at home and pray to win the lottery but you don't buy a ticket, you'll never win. So clearly, Conceição believes that hard work has got him this far. And again, Milan with a corner.
Yeah, coming and going again, Patrick, from a long ball played into the channel for Pulisic.
Inter are many things, but they don't necessarily have searing pace all over the pitch. Short by Reinders. Musa finds Teo Hernandez. That's a good-looking ball in. Now Emerson Royal, tempted by the shot. Nearly broke the way of Tomori. Inter get it clear, now the whistle's gone. But again, Inter not looking irresistible defensively.
Yeah, AC Milan tried to find, I think, Pulisic on the back post there from a set piece. Yeah.
Franco Baresi is there. Sat alongside Milan's Director of Communications, Pier Donato Vercellone. Inter have won each of their last 5 games, all with clean sheets. Only once have they made it half a dozen victories in a row without conceding. That was under Roberto Mancini. Also boasts 7 pieces of silverware as Inter head coach. Inzaghi looking to emulate him and the man who won 2 European Cups in the 60s, Elenio Herrera.
You can see, Patrick, Inter unusually trying to build up from the back. The AC Milan squad, you can see the distance in between players, very, very narrow, tight. It's not easy for Inter to find spaces.
Half an hour gone, it's a cagey derby, but there is silverware on the line. There's plenty of recent history between these two sides. Not just in Serie A, but in the Coppa Italia they've met, in the Super Cup, plus that two-legged Champions League semi-final. And we are seeing that victory by Fonseca's Milan in September is all important in terms of changing the momentum. Inter had won 6 in a row. Had they made it 7, even with Conceição in charge this evening, you sense that would have been a very hard psychological hurdle for the Rossoneri players to overcome.
Yeah, because it was becoming a kind of jinx, you know, under Pioli, but they managed to win at the last moment of the game. A set piece, as we mentioned. Now, like, look, AC Milan doing quite well, giving Inter many chances.
Pulisic. Teo was fouled there by Denzel Dumfries. Now, These two have clashed before. Theo Hernandez has twice received red cards in the derby, including once for just hacking at Dumfries from behind. Actually, when Milan were winning the derby to make sure of victory. And I don't think there's a great deal in that.
That's how you have to defend, Patrick. They 1-2, obviously. You don't even watch the ball, just the man. I don't think there's anything heavy on that.
It's a bit like standing your ground when you get nutmegged, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of course, that never happened to you in your career.
No, very, very often, to be fair.
Theo Hernandez. Pulisic. Asking questions of Dumfries. Emerson Royal again getting forward from right back. Musa spotted the movement of Theo Hernandez. Musa will try again. This is Pulisic. Scored the opener in September when these two sides met at San Siro. Remains one of only 2 defeats Inter have had all season. The other one?
Yeah, in the Champions League.
Bayer Leverkusen, yeah. Absolutely. Lautaro Martinez. This is Mkhitaryan. And here goes Di Marco, couldn't quite take it into his stride. Bastoni, though, quickly on the scene. Lautaro for Çalhanoğlu, urged to shoot. Bisek's ball in. Now, if Çalhanoğlu didn't shoot, should Bisek have tried his luck there? Now, Dumfries has gone down, claiming Theo caught him. It's all kicking off again between this pair.
Yeah, we know them. There is not much love in between the pair. Yes, I think Bisek had not at the best touch. He was, and you can see, I don't know if Theo mentioned that, but there is something in between both legs, and that's a sore one, especially considering if you got studs.
Well, we don't want to see Dumfries go off after his 2 excellent goals in the semi-final on this ground against Atalanta, albeit both at the other end of the ground. One was an overhead kick from close range, and now Çalhanoğlu is coming off. Well, the Super Cup is proving quite costly to Inter because Marcus Thuram was taken off at half-time of the semi-final as a precaution, albeit he's not fit tonight. And now after 34 minutes of the final, Inter lose arguably their most irreplaceable player. Çalhanoğlu off, Aslani on.
Yeah, it was touching his groin. This is a huge loss after considering, as you mentioned, Patrick, Thuram absence. We saw previously even Zielinski playing that position before, but Inzaghi trusts Aslani.
Now, Inter will make sure, via the club doctor here, that Dumfries is okay to continue, because if he weren't, they would make sure they use this substitution as part of the same slot so as not to lose one. We saw that earlier this season, didn't we, with Mats Hummels at Roma? Yeah. I got a little bit confused and muddled.
Yeah, I remember that.
But you do only get 3 slots, 5 substitutions all told. Half-time doesn't count as 1. So as long as the ball doesn't go back in play, we hope that Dumfries can continue. But if he can't, Inter will take him off as well at this juncture. And whilst Aslani clearly has a bright future, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, he is not.
Yeah, of course. Aslani is growing well. No, he's not playing much. That's the difference. You need to trust your player, but when you've got ahead of you a player like Çalhanoğlu, is different to find room. But every time Aslani played, I think he did well. Dumfries not happy with Theo tackle.
Did you have anyone in your career that you came up against and you looked forward to playing against them, those 1v1 battles? You as a centre-half, maybe was there a forward that you thought...
Yeah. In my 7 years in Scotland, Scott Brown is one that...
Scott Brown,
yeah,
of Celtic fame.
Yeah, remembers him about his character.
Bruni. There you have it, Scott Brown, if you're listening. Manuel Pascali still has your number. Headed clear by Emerson Royal.
No, it was always, you know, there was always respect, by the way. No, we love to play each other against each other because we know we are kind of, you know, old school player, love the tackle, love the banter, but there was always respect.
Here's Bisek. Good work from Bisek. Now Dumfries, who's moving okay, which will be of relief to Simone Inzaghi, because he does have a reliable alternative in Darmian, albeit with a very different skill set. But this is why Inter are keeping clean sheets with such regularity, because Sommer is there essentially just to build out from the back, play that first pass out. Not many teams are getting close enough to Inter to really lay a glove on them. That's a foul by Fofana.
Yes, but you can see clearly every time Inter is under pressure, even just at the edge of the halfway line, they go back to Sommer to probably ask for the opponent's pressure.
Bisek, away by Tomori. Fofana again is there, but he's given it straight to Dumfries. Barella now. Mkhitaryan rushed the shot and was off balance when he struck it.
Yeah, that's good defending by Rangers, because when you push your opponent in the right moment, you're gonna lose the balance, and that's the kind of shot that you're happy to concede to your opponents, even from the edge of the box.
If you are new to the EA Sports FC Super Cup, a reminder of the format. Yes, this is the second year where we've played a Final Four. Top two in Serie A, the two finalists in the Coppa Italia. But also we'll go straight to penalties if the match was still level after 90 minutes to decide who wins this trophy. And a reminder, we knew who would play who as early as the end of last season. Once Inter won the league, they were always going to play the cup runners-up, Atalanta. Once Milan were runners-up here, they were always going to meet the cup holders, Juventus. And both Milan and Inter safely through to the quarter-finals of this season's Coppa Italia. They'll play the two Rome clubs. Inter up against Lazio, Milan will play Roma.
This is a big test as well for Aslan. You know, you got a chance to impress in the Super Cup final. This is the first time he played this ball to Dumfries, not as precise as he would have liked.
Theo Hernandez looking for movement. Won by De Vrij. Fofana. Just caught by Barella. Jimenez playing centre forward. That's nicely done for Musa. Emerson Royal. Jimenez. Now it's Fofana joining in. Still Fofana. Chao there ahead of Lautaro Martinez. Theo Hernandez. Fofana. Reinders getting on the ball. Emerson Royal. Jimenez. Nicely done. This is Reinders. Nearly forgot the ball. Emerson Royal. Jimenez. Fofana keeps it moving. Theo Hernandez. Still no way through for Milan here. Pulisic. That's the issue though for Milan, but a reminder, they don't need to win tonight. Could eventually claim this trophy on penalties, provided they don't concede. Or would at least confirm a shootout. In the lead up to this game, Inzaghi said, we've analysed both the league defeat, he was referring to the loss to Milan in September under Paulo Fonseca, and the first game under Conceição. That's a small sample size to see how Milan have changed. What have you noticed, Manuel? Here's Musa meantime. Jimenez getting the wrong side, and Morata would have had a tap-in, but for Alessandro Bastoni.
Yeah, that's why Bastoni is one of the most fantastic play defender in Europe. Look here, wonderful ball played in, one touch from Fofana to Musa. This is a wonderful tackle because Morata was licking his lips.
Milan have taken the corner, and Sommer's there to claim. Inter will now try and counter with the Swiss goalkeeper. Di Marco. Well, what changes have you noticed between the way Milan were setting up under Fonseca and what you've seen so far? in this limited sample size, admittedly, under Sergio Conceição.
They look more solid, to be fair. Look the distances in between the compartments and players. Look how narrow they are. I remember well that game. Fonseca surprised everyone, playing almost with the 4 strike in a kind of 4-2-4, and I think that shape surprised the Inter as well.
And Inter were quite fortunate actually to go through against Porto when Inzaghi's side came up against Sergio Conceição. There was Mehdi Taremi then of Porto, nearly scored. Here he is trying to head it forward towards Barella. Lautaro Martinez, that's a corner off Tomori.
And I think that was the ball he was looking for. Brilliant connection. I think Tomori, the decent block there. Long ball, second ball, Lautaro first to meet it. And now with 3 minutes to go, gonna see if Inter will move it. We'll try to find somebody in the box.
This is our special EA Sports FC camera. It's just like being in a video game. Taken short. Aslani, Maignan there to gather. Nice apology from the other captain, Lautaro. Nothing more than a free kick here. Could have been a yellow card if it was seen as a deliberate attempt to try and stifle a Milan counter-attack. But coming back to that match between Inter and Porto, the second leg, needed Dumfries to keep out Taremi on a couple of occasions. Andre Onana as well was also required. Lovely driven ball there. If Pulisic can get there, he can't. So that does show that Sergio Conceição's teams are typically hard to beat, pretty stubborn. Inzaghi said they play very vertical football, it's direct.
Yeah, I remember in his first interview a couple of days earlier, he said the target, the aim is to score. There are 2 goals, one you don't have to concede, the other one you have to score 1 goal more than the other. He doesn't like the proper tiki-taka.
Bisek, Inter coming forward with numbers here. This is Mehdi Taremi. On it goes for Di Marco. Bastoni with the ball in. Overhit.
Yeah, probably. It's not the ball he was meant to play, but I think Barella should have gambled and attacked the back post area. Another decent half opportunity for Inter. Doesn't look bright as usual in the last third. The end product so far is missing for them.
Twice these teams have met in the Super Cup final. Milan won 2-1 against Inter in 2011. And Inter won the most recent meeting, which was in 2023, albeit the 2022 Super Cup. As we do typically play in the new year, refers back to the previous season. One of the survivors from the 2-1 win in August 2011 in Beijing, incidentally, when Milan beat Inter 2-1, is here tonight in his role as advisor to the Milan ownership, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who scored Milan's equaliser. The winner was scored by Kevin Prince Boateng. Now Lautaro Martinez running in behind. Maignan was quickly off his line.
Yeah, too heavy. Again, Inter are trying to play over the 2 centre-back shoulders for this run from one of the strikers. No precise, as usual, from Barella.
We're into added time here. Just one opportunity, really, in this first half, courtesy of Di Marco. Very well hit shot from outside the box. Any other player you'd think a shot from distance wouldn't necessarily be a huge opportunity, given Di Marco's technique and his world-class left foot. It was very presentable for him, and it was heading towards the top corner. Di Marco takes the throw in quickly. 3v2 potentially here. Mkhitaryan for Mehdi Taremi, and now Lautaro Martinez taking his time and finding the net. He's not been in the best form, but when derby day comes around, Lautaro is there to be counted upon. Thuram out injured, and the skipper has stepped up. Goal number 9 in the Derby della Madonnina.
Details, Patrick. Details can win games, can win trophies. Look, Di Marco, it's no wasting time. Took the ball from the byline there, playing immediately throw for Mkhitaryan, look here, immediately, 3 against 2. Look, Taremi, so clever. Mkhitaryan spotted him in here. Cool as the old Lautaro, finding a wonderful goal. Chop, then 2 defenders away, then in between Theo Hernandez's legs. No chance for Maignan, and the skipper puts Inter ahead.
Inter are on course to win 4 consecutive editions of the Super Cup, and Lautaro has now scored in each and every one of those 4 finals. Juventus, Milan, Napoli and Milan again. And having not found the net in the derby since the Champions League semi-final second leg, he gets the opening goal here in added time. And if there was a player to pick out as a possible goal scorer tonight on the Inter side, it was the captain. Inzaghi looking for 4 in a row at Inter, to add to a Scudetto and 2 Coppa Italias he's won as well. Inter in front in the EA Sports FC Super Cup final. 45 more minutes to negotiate without conceding for a club record equaling run. And above all, another piece of silverware, which would be their 9th in this competition, matching Juventus's haul. But Manuel Pascali, Milan immediately on the front foot, and it needed a fine challenge from De Vrij to dispossess Jimenez.
I think they played quite well in the first half. They just went to sleep once, they conceded once.
Barella was fouled by Fofana. We've not seen a yellow card in this game. Might have been a temptation to show one to the Frenchman there. I think that's what Barella is asking Simone Sozza.
Yeah, I think Sozza is doing quite well, keeping the game cool, quiet, calm. I think he's got kind of presence that doesn't need to rush cards.
Confirmation that Conceição did play with Inzaghi in towards Dumfries. That's because Conceição actually had 2 spells with Lazio. Had 2 years with the side from Rome, then a year with Parma, 2 seasons at Inter before returning for 1 final year with the Biancocelesti. All told 6 years in Italy as a player. But if Inter have Mr. Super Cup in the dugout, they've got Mr. Super Cup on the pitch as well. Dumfries winning it back, away by Chow. Hard enough to score in 1 final, let alone 4 consecutive finals in the same competition.
Yeah, incredible. Start. No, both, apart from the last chance that Lautaro scored, I think even Morata, be quiet.
De Vrij, this is Mehdi Taremi, 1 against 1! And what a start to the second half for the Nerazzurri. It's only his 2nd goal for the club, his 1st from open play. But Mehdi Taremi scores in Saudi Arabia to give Inter 1 hand on another Super Cup.
Yeah, wonderful second half, start from the second half from Inter. But we said it, we saw it from the very start of this game, Patrick. Inter were looking for this long ball behind AC Milan's shoulders. Probably they spotted this like a weakness, as you can see. The line is not moving well, and then Taremi, so cool, so calm. Great first touch, a lovely finish. No chance for Maignan. They can just watch the ball finding the net.
He averaged a goal every other game under Sergio Conceição at Porto. He scores against his former head coach here with a flawless finish past Maignan. And Inter have scored either side of the interval, courtesy of their front 2. Lautaro in added time at the end of the first half, Taremi early on in the second. And it looks like yet another derby victory for Simone Inzaghi's Nerazzurri.
Yeah, we don't know, because there are plenty of meals to be played, but this ball, this move, a wonderful assist from De Vrij.
Bastoni. Now Lautaro making the run. It reaches the path of Dumfries. Inter aren't done yet. Bisek with the ball in, headed clear by Chow. And we have seen Inter humiliate Milan in the recent past, 5-1, lest we forget, in the Scudetto winning season, the first meeting between the two sides. When Thuram smashed one into the top corner, Fratesi scored late on for his first Inter goal. It's a long way back now for Sergio Conceição and Milan.
Yeah, now he's looking to change something, and the main man is coming on.
He's not been fit, Rafael Leao. He didn't play any part in the semi-final, but he was fit enough for the bench this evening. He is one of the players in the Milan ranks that interfere, not that they necessarily admit as much. But only a few days ago on Friday, Milan scored twice in this stadium in the second half to come from behind to beat Juventus. They need to score twice now to try and force a shootout in the EA Sports FC Super Cup.
Yeah, but remember, I think they were not the best team in that game. They scored via a penalty from a foul from Locatelli and then an own goal from Gatti.
Rafael Leao is on for Alex Jimenez. So change in position for Pulisic. Here's Leao's first involvement. Rafael Leao, was he caught there? It is a free kick and a yellow card for Mkhitaryan, who's unhappy that Inter didn't get a decision earlier on in the passage of play.
Yeah, but at the end I think it's a clever foul. We don't know if AC Milan will score from this free kick, but Leao had the chance to hit the target and trouble Sommer from just outside the box. This is what obviously Mkhitaryan knows exactly what he's doing.
That was the challenge from Morata on Asllani. It probably was a foul. He kicked through the Albanian midfielder to get the ball. The referee didn't spot it. Probably a good thing that Milan didn't score there, because that goal might have been ruled out for a foul in the build-up. Atalanta had a goal disallowed in the semi-final from Edison after De Ketelaere was offside. Conceição needs someone to do something at this stage.
Yeah, he's just in position because Reinders or Theo can shot from there.
Well, on form it should be Reinders, but seniority dictates Theo Hernandez. Who's it going to be? Theo Hernandez scores the free kick. Game on in the Derby della Madonnina. It's not been a great season for him personally, but perhaps brighter days ahead for Theo and the Rossoneri.
Yeah, wonderful free kick. Not sure if Sommer should have done better because he conceded the goal in his near post. Plenty of power, probably goes. Yes, Lautaro could have done better, but this is a good goal and this is game on.
Sergio Conceição leads the celebrations. It had been mostly misery for Theo Hernandez in the past against Inter, losing 11 of his 16 derbies prior to tonight across all competitions. 2 red cards in there as well. But now he makes his mark with a goal, and what a goal it was. A free kick. And all of a sudden, that strike from Taremi has been cancelled out. It's basically as you were from the interval.
Yeah, but what about Leao? Impact coming on, and then immediately wins the free kick that led into the Theo Hernandez goal, and now it's another game, obviously.
It was a pretty tepid first half. It's come to life in the second. Di Marco tried to hit it with the outside of his boot. The game is much more open than it was in the opening 45 minutes. Tomori unhappy that Milan have gone to sleep defensively several times.
Yeah, and now Musa is doing what Jimenez was doing in the first half, helping Emerson Royal on this side of the park, playing like a proper back five when Inter got the ball.
Bastoni with the long throw. Maignan wanted to come. Emerson away. That's Asllani. Mkhitaryan, well held by the goalkeeper.
Yeah, good try. hit the target, but Maignan is alert. Now look, end-to-end stuff.
Theo Hernandez. Was he caught by Dumfries? He was. Another yellow card potentially on the way here. Indeed, he joins Mkhitaryan in the book, and all of a sudden, Milan have reunited those two world-class players on the left side. Theo, the goal scorer, and Rafael Leao, the substitute.
Yeah, and I guess all the AC Milan players will look to find the duo on the left side that can create troubles against any single team.
That's the first goal Inter have conceded, incidentally, since that defeat at Bayer Leverkusen, the 10th of December. They had won 5 in a row with clean sheets. In it comes, and Malik Chow didn't really connect.
Yeah, fortunately for Inter, but now look like the Nerazzurri are shaking a bit because AC Milan are putting them under massive pressure.
Inter have given Milan a bit of encouragement, and Sergio Conceição is a master motivator. And all of a sudden there's much more urgency about Milan, greater energy in the side, and plenty of quality players on the pitch as well. And we can hear those chants of Milan, Milan going around Al Awwal Park. De Vrij across, Di Marco, Mkhitaryan, and now Aslani looking to find Di Marco. Good ball too. Di Marco unable to keep it in play.
Yeah, I think Aslani had the chance with a better touch with his right foot to switch the play into Dumfries, the opponent side of the park.
Ciao. Tomori finds Musa. Leao wants it to feed. Musa goes the other way. Now it's Pulisic, if he can stand it up. Sommer had to make sure it didn't sneak in at the near post.
I think Musa's position is now creating Inter troubles because he's no more playing in the middle of the park. He's playing out wide right with Pulisic. And here, Pulisic reaching almost the byline. Decent ball in. You can see something is changing this game. The goal Theo scored changed the inertia of the game.
Lautaro holding it up. He was caught there by Tomori. That might be a card for the Englishman. Pretty wild swipe. He's saying it's his first real offence, but it was egregious enough to warrant a yellow card.
Yeah, brilliant touch from Lautaro. The first control was unreal. Then Tomori want to be aggressive. You can see here, first on the ball. I think the referee decided to put another yellow card on the match to keep it a calm game.
We did have a red card late on in the Rome derby yesterday, which Roma won easily against Lazio by 2-0. Rafael Leao pressing aggressively there. Interesting to see if there's a change in his game, because under Paulo Fonseca there were more suggestions that he's not willing to do enough defensively. Well, this is all kicked off because Leao was telling Bisek to get up and get on with it. Barella's then got involved, and Rafael Leao has said, this is between me and him, off you go.
Yeah, I know. I can see Barella point because Leao is not happy with the Bisek here. He tried to kind of kick Inter defender here. Barella spotted it, go defend his younger player, younger mate, and now Leao, Barella. This is, you can see, it's an important, huge game for both teams.
And it shows that Rafael Leao cares as well. Too often in the past he's been accused of being indifferent, of blowing hot and cold, of being a world beater on his day, but anonymous when he's not in the mood. But he's come off the bench here, immediately won the free kick from which Milan got back into the game, and now he's getting under Barella's skin as well.
You know, this happens a lot, Patrick, when you change manager. A lot of players takes responsibility, feel responsible of that.
Taremi for Lautaro. Chow went to ground early on there. This is Dumfries. Aslani calling for it. Aslani, his first touch took him away from goal, but now he can deliver. Aslani's ball in, Maignan there to gather. And again, he wants Milan to press forward quickly, to try and drag Inter out of shape.
Yeah, Maignan is bossing the 6 yards box.
Musa did enough there just to knock Bastoni off his stride and force him to head it into touch as opposed to further upfield. Since they scored the goal, I think it's fair to say Milan are the better side.
Yeah, I agree. And Musa again position, it's wide right, combining well with the Pulisic and Fofana coming from a deeper position.
Theo Hernandez looking for Morata, who got across the front of De Vrij. Bastoni there to make sure Pulisic didn't retrieve it. Manuel and I were remarking off air about how we no longer have ball boys, at least not conventionally to give the ball back. Their job is now simply to replace them on the cones on the side of the pitch, and that certainly facilitated Di Marco taking the throw quickly, which led to the opening goal for Lautaro and Inter.
Yeah, clever from Di Marco, spotting the ball up the cone and immediately serve Mkhitaryan.
Emerson Royal, Di Marco's out of position. Musa running away from Di Marco. Musa with the ball in, away by De Vrij. Fofana, clever ball. Emerson. Musa. Theo calling for it, that's who Fofana finds. Theo Hernandez. Pulisic didn't generate the power, what a chance.
Yeah, too central, was not easy, it was not an easy header.
Taremi's done well, this is Mkhitaryan with Lautaro on the shoulder. Lautaro Martinez. Still Lautaro Martinez, that could have gone anywhere. And eventually it breaks the way of Fofana. Really good intensity and tempo to this match now.
Yeah, end-to-end stuff. Immediately Inter won the ball back and immediately play into Mkhitaryan, who could have gave the ball later on for Lautaro. And now another chance for AC.
Rafael Leao, he'll run at Bisek here. Leao, he's got away from him. Rafael Leao and Rangers! What a block that is from Bastoni. It might well have been going over in any case, but Leao showing why he is unique.
Yeah, incredible stuff, incredible game. Wonderful first 15 minutes of the second half, and look, Leao is unstoppable in that position. Here, waited the right time. And look, Bastoni with his head, saving his goal. Wonderful stuff from Leao first, and then Bastoni with a bit of luck, but you have to stand up to beat that ball.
Really brave block from Bastoni that. We'll never know unless we get some technology that tells us about the trajectory of the ball as to whether that would have gone under or over the crossbar. Place your bets now, but wonderful work from Rafael Leao, who won the free kick for Theo Hernandez's goal. Another look at Mehdi Taremi's goal, which made it into 2, Milan 0.
I don't know why Malik Chow is in that position, and Taremi spots a big gap in between the two centre-back. And the Theo, I think Sommer there has to stay near the post there. If AC Milan will find the net over the wall, it's not your fault, but surely you don't have to concede the kind of goal from that distance.
Don't recall Inter looking this fragile at the back during a game for a while. Even Atalanta, they have the 127 goals across all competitions in 2024 as a calendar year. Didn't fashion too many opportunities, but had Bastoni not blocked that, Rangers might well have equalised. And Theo and Dumfries continue their duello a distanza, their long-term feud. There's Luigi De Siervo, who's CEO for Lega Serie A.
Yeah, this happens, Patrick, when you play with your main three up front. Leao on the left, Morata and Pulisic on the right.
Theo Hernandez finding Fofana. Here's Theo again. He's got Rangers in support. Look at the red shirts. Theo for Morata. It was just behind Rafael Leao. But Inter can now counter. That's the danger for Milan. Di Marco beaten to the ball by Tomori, and Inter are making changes. Zielinski and Carlos Augusto on the way. Reinders, Fofana, now Emerson Royal. Pulisic gets there. Pulisic's cross. Theo Hernandez, it's Morata in fact. What a save from Sommer. Excellent goalkeeping to keep out Morata.
Yeah, great ball in. And wonderful header from Theo Hernandez, sneaking on the bar post. And Sommer has to produce a fabulous save to keep Inter into the lead.
Great leap there from Morata. Wonderful cross from Pulisic. And it almost looked like Milan had equalised. Mkhitaryan is coming off, having been booked. We've seen this before from Simone Inzaghi. That's why Zielinski will replace him. Carlos Augusto is the other change. Dumfries has also had his name taken, but typically Carlos Augusto is either for Bastoni to play at left centre-back or Di Marco and left wing-back. It looks like the latter, it is.
Yeah, but I think Inter are suffering at the moment on the right side, where Theo and Leao are almost impossible to stop. And here more legs on the left side, more physical presence with Augusto. But AC Milan are doing so well now.
That was better goalkeeping from Sommer. Anticipated the header from Morata. Emerson with the long throw. Cleared as far as Lautaro Martinez. Won then by Carlos Augusto, his first touch. Ciao. Didn't want to take any chances, but he has given it away to Barella, who might release Dumfries now. He does.
Yeah, I think Inter needs to keep a bit the ball better with Aslani. That's why probably he opted to bring on Zielinski.
Milan's next match, a home game against Cagliari before their round 19 game, is a trip to Como. That was Taremi running in behind. Milan want the flag. Lautaro Martinez meantime. Barella waits for Aslani to join in.
I think probably Patrick, because we didn't see much about Conceição, obviously, because he's been on the bench for one game. I think this is something that Inzaghi spotted on Conceição philosophy, staying high line and trying to hit them with this long ball towards one of the strikers, like when Taremi scored.
Barella into beating the press. Aslani. Now it's Bisek. Can bring it forward here. On it goes for Dumfries. Nice football from Inter. Dumfries, Taremi. That was an easier chance than the one he scored.
Yeah, wonderful move from Inter. Decent run from Bisek, then Dumfries, unmarked. A wonderful ball in for Taremi. Could have scored an easy tap in, but missed a huge chance, probably to kill the game in the right moment.
Ciao finds Emerson Royal. We've still got a quarter of this match remaining. It's been a great game at Al Awwal Park. That was awkward for Morata to control. Who got the last touch? Stefan de Vrij, corner to Milan.
And good job by Alvaro Morata. De Vrij, we know him, he's very physical. He usually wins this kind of 50-50 challenge. And now AC Milan got a chance again.
Musa. Reinders. Theo with the ball in, and that was a free header for Tomori, who has scored in the derby before. He got what was eventually a consolation when Inter won the second start.
Yeah, that was the chance. And Tomori's got a couple of goals in his locker.
Taremi. Lautaro. Waits for Bisek to arrive. This is Taremi, Lautaro Martinez. This time Maignan got behind it.
Yeah, now Inter is playing good football, especially in transition, finding Taremi in the pocket. Cannot be picked there. The AC Milan defenders has to be braver and go and challenge him in the middle of the park. Thought for a second Lautaro was going to hit it one touch.
Lautaro's 4th goal in the Super Cup in each of the last 4 finals, leaving him level with Paulo Dybala. Did, however, score multiple goals in games. I remember a couple for Juventus against Lazio in particular. Tomori finds Teo. Rafael Leão. Looking for Morata, who's pulled away here. Down for Pulisic. Tomori. Emerson. Sergio Conceição urging Theo Hernandez forward on the far side. Instead it's Pulisic on this near side. Pulisic with another dangerous cross. This time Sommer took charge.
Yeah, every time Pulisic reaches the byline, he's able to find a cross.
There's Bobovieri. Don't ordinarily get a wave when there's a cutaway to a legend, but Vieri knows what he's doing. Great goal scorer in his day, now a very respected pundit.
That's what Tomori has to do. If Lautaro is coming deep, just go and try to match him, try to challenge him, so you don't concede an easy turn. And then when troubles are starting from.
Zielinski. Bisek, here's Taremi finding plenty of space. And now Lautaro Martinez, again turning, Dumfries. Carlos Augusto couldn't quite force it home, he's claiming it across the line. No buzz on the watch for Simone Sozza. And Maignan needed a helping hand from the post. Reinders meantime. Here go Milan with Rafael Leão. Fouled by Barella, another yellow card, and ominously another Milan free kick on the edge of the box.
Yeah, fantastic football here. Chance from Inter, then immediately counter, and chance for AC Milan, who's got another. Here, look. Yeah, I think referee is
he's nowhere near the ball, is he?
Spot on. But look here, again Lautaro. Driving the ball, winning that challenge against Tomori. This is a decent ball. They are always, yeah, bit of luck. Carlos Augusto is always the favorite one to win the aerial challenge, but then at the end Musa did well, and the ball somehow has been kept off the line. Incredible stuff.
Bounced off the post onto the line, and then Maignan luckily had his knee just far enough forward, whereby it caught his knee and then stayed the right side of the line from a Milan perspective. Teo's already scored one, albeit it was more central than this. This is a more natural position for a right footer, but having already scored a free kick, how Theo Hernandez would love to channel Sinisa Mihajlovic, a former Milan coach, and score multiple free kicks in the same game. Sinisa famously doing so with a hat-trick for Lazio.
Yeah, against Sampdoria, I think. Ferrano was in goal.
Sure, well, thank you for reminding him. Theo this time for Reinders, and by the time they shifted in, it allowed Lautaro to make the block. And now that's a mistake from Emerson Royal. Then he got a little bit lucky in blocking the through ball. Dumfries charging forward. Too strong for Emerson Royal. Dumfries. This is Zielinski. Emerson Royal gets there. Pulisic chasing after it. He looks fatigued.
Sometimes the easiest option is always the right one. There, Emerson Royal, you don't have to do anything special. They put the ball in the byline, and here you can appreciate the goal line technology, because I'm sure the linesman cannot see anything from the distance.
especially because we just had a game between Juventus and Milan here. There was a famous ghost goal, wasn't there, many years ago? Suleimantari, I believe. Don't want to see a repeat of that, hence why GLT is very welcome. Certainly much more black and white than VAR. Personally, I'd love to see the technology they use in tennis to see whether that shot from Reinders would have gone under the crossbar or not. Tomori gets there ahead of Lautaro Martinez. Both teams are having to take chances here. Milan in particular, because they're chasing the game, but Inter know that another goal would kill it off. Andrea Pirlo alongside Roberto Donadoni there.
Yeah, probably Conceição, without Inter being without Thuram, opted to stay with the high line, because he knows that maybe Lautaro and Taremi are not the quickest, but costed the goal.
Leao, Morata, Emerson Royal. Morata was waiting, Bisek got there. Barella well found by Taremi. Here's Taremi again, Barella charging through. Teo came across and played the ball, and Maignan will avoid a corner. Barella can't believe he's not got a free kick there, but certainly the path the ball took seemed to suggest there was a touch off the defender.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Patrick, because I think the only thing that Barella was looking for was a foul by Malik Shaw, but from here you can appreciate that probably Barella touch.
It was Chow, who maybe didn't get the ball. Emerson. Nice layoff by Pulisic. And that was the wrong option taken by a player who's never scored for Milan, Yunus Musa. There's Marco Materazzi. A lot of legends in the stadium tonight.
And Vincent Candela never played for Inter or AC Milan, boys.
Ah, you're right, I didn't spot him there. Tammy Abraham on the way for TG Reinders, so Conceição is giving it a go. Vincent Candela, by the way, these days plays a lot of paddle with Francesco Totti.
What a fullback he was, by the way. World Cup winner with France, I think.
1998. So Musa also taken off. Loftus-Cheek is the other man on, so an English double. Musa, unfortunately, his last touch was that sliced shot out of play. It did allow the Rossoneri to make the change. Bastoni's ball forward.
Yeah, now Patrick looks like a proper 4-4-2 with the Pulisic, Morata, Abraham and Leao and Fofana and Loftus-Cheek in the middle of the park. Obviously Conceição goes for it.
And it was 4-4-2, the shape that Milan chose back in September when they won against Inter. That was Fonseca, this is Conceição. And now it's Leao to complete the Portuguese connection. Leao overhit for Loftus-Cheek, but kept in play by Theo Hernandez, who drives in the cross. Abraham rose well. Given away, though, by Dumfries. Loftus-Cheek. Emerson Royal. Pulisic now, who's been quiet by his own standards. Leao. Abraham. Emerson waits for Chow on the overlap. Came off Zielinski. Emerson Royal again. Up and away by Bastoni.
Yeah, now Inter has to defend properly. 4 strikers.
Taremi using Zielinski. No foul there. Michael Fabri, the 4th official, told Zielinski to get on with it. Loftus-Cheek, another player who's struggled this season. Pulisic. That's the cross. Sommer came, and that was positive goalkeeping.
Yeah, good job by Sommer, because now AC Milan got a massive physical presence inside the box. with Ibrahim Morata plus Loftus-Cheek coming late.
Carlos Augusto stepping past Morata, who then came back. Came off Emerson Royal last. Inzaghi unhappy with the assistant on this near side. He felt there were a couple of fouls on Carlos Augusto prior to that. The assistant on this near side is Ciro Carbone. Lautaro. Toe in ahead of Dumfries. It's broken for Aslani there. Nearly got the return from Taremi. More interchanges of foot, including Davide Fratesi, scoring last season's Super Cup. Good ball that from Leão. Theo Hernandez, Pulisic, he's got there and he scored! Pulisic finds the net in back-to-back derbies, and from 2-0 down, the Rossoneri have come roaring back. It's all square in Riyadh.
What a finish, Patrick, by Pulisic. There, wonderful job has been made by Theo Hernandez. He doesn't give up. Go and run, collect the ball, almost lost ball, and then played a wonderful one into the penalty spot area where Pulisic control with his right foot and find a wonderful, wonderful finish where Sommer cannot do anything. Look, Bastoni, they are scared probably to concede a penalty. Ball in between Carlos Augusto's legs, and then Sommer cannot save that. And this is the equalizer that AC Milan was looking for.
He scored the equaliser on this ground in the semi-final against Juventus. He scored the equaliser on this ground at that end of the ground against Inter. Double figures for the season for Christian Pulisic. And he scored in 2 straight editions of the Derby della Madonnina. And Theo Hernandez, having scored a free kick, now has an assist for the second. And it is the first time that Inter have conceded more than 1 goal since the 4-4 draw against Juventus, when they also conceded a 2-goal cushion. Stefano Pioli's here, albeit trying to blend in.
I think that Simone Inzaghi spotted that he needed more legs. He was probably going to take off Barella, then Theo is showing again when he wants to be involved, he wants to be a part, he wants to play as his standard. He can make the difference.
Well, we're 10 minutes away from a penalty shootout to decide who wins this competition. Davide Calabria, who's still technically the Milan club captain, is going to come on, presumably because either Emerson Royal has got a problem or Sergio Conceição, having scored the leveller, now wants his side to avoid conceding a third to Inter. But this is the sort of response that was missing under Paulo Fonseca, the intangible attributes that Sergio Conceição seems to possess: heart, desire, will to win, all the things he's been talking about with the media.
Yeah, like somebody compared him to Conte for the way that his passion, I can say, his heart. Pulisic is struggling. I think Calabria will come on for the American, but you can see this AC Milan got spirit now.
I see him as somewhere between Conte and Simeone.
You're picking now to
no pressure.
Managers, yeah. I think I can remember. You can see somebody when he talks with his heart. He talks about feelings, heart, desire, commitment. And AC Milan look like a completely different team at the moment.
They do, having conceded twice either side of the break. But here goes Taremi. There's still space in the midfield for Inter to exploit. Dumfries decided against the cross. Barella. Now Zielinski, cleverly done. Taremi beaten to it by Chow, who decided to concede the corner. No risks run there from the German.
Yeah, good move by Taremi, but then Chow did well. Now Inter, you never know, with 7 minutes to go, we say they are so good in set piece. Now they've got Carlos Augusto as well.
Aslani takes the corner. Dumfries! It was nearly his 3rd goal in 2 games on this ground.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad effort. with his left foot, meeting the ball in a full volley. I guess he was the target because 4 Inter players were attacking the front post area.
Barella is taking issue with someone, not sure who, but De Vrij and Barella have been taken off. Fratesi and Darmian have come on, so Bisek presumably to centre-back, Manuel. And Fratesi to provide some energy in midfield.
Or Bastoni, we're going to see. I don't know, probably Barella is not happy maybe with the referee with that decision that went against him in the Chow challenge. Probably, yeah, Bisek is playing centre.
Fratesi's been linked with a move away. There was some rather mischievous comments last evening from the Roma sporting director Florent Ghisolfi, who said that Fratesi is un figlio di Roma, literally a son of that city, so if Roma had the opportunity to recruit him, they might have a go at that, but Inter's asking price is certainly high for a starter in the Italian national team. Bastoni, lovely switch of play. Dumfries delivering well. Lautaro Martinez. Maignan wanted Chow to shepherd it behind, but Chow knew Fratesi was lurking.
Yeah, Dumfries had a fantastic couple of games here. It's a decent ball.
There's Luca Toni, Alex Del Piero as well, Massimo Oddo, all 3 World Cup winners from 2006. Aslani with the ball in, Fratesi was waiting again. Bastoni, down the side for Taremi. He's done well here, Mehdi Taremi. Easy save for Maignan in the end.
Yeah, I don't know if Loftus-Cheek, obviously he didn't spot it behind him.
Ciro Ferrara, former Napoli and Juventus player.
Scudetto winners with both teams.
Champions League winner with Juventus.
Yeah, the last time they won it in Rome against Ajax.
Sergio Conceição, I think, telling Calabria it is now his moment to come on. Rafael teasing it in, overhit though for Abraham. We've seen that Milan can be very good when afforded open space. That was a feature of theirs under Pioli, under Fonseca, now under Conceição. It is going to be Emerson Royal, incidentally, coming off for Davide Calabria, who's barely featured this season because of injury, and he's been out of favour too. The big question about Milan is, can they win games comfortably when they start as favourites?
Yeah, we're gonna see if they're gonna do it under Conceição, but look, they've got the quality to beat any single team in Italy. They showed even in Europe to be so good.
Zielinski for Lautaro, Fratesi calling for it. Here is Fratesi, and now Denzel Dumfries. Maignan makes a big save there for Milan.
I think that is a glorious chance for Inter. I think Dumfries' last touch went too close to Maignan and gave the chance for the French goalie to go off his line and go closer to Dumfries. That was the chance to win the game. That could be easy. I'm sorry for Dumfries, scored 3 goals in 2 games.
And all at that end of the ground as well. Great work from Chow to keep out Fratesi. Milan have needed some saves from Maignan, making himself big there. Aslani takes the set piece. Carlos Augusto climbing Zielinski, who's very two-footed. Inter want to win this game in 90 minutes, having spurned a 2-goal lead. Milan probably be quite happy to see this game out and take their chances from 12 yards. Bastoni, Lautaro, Taremi, Lautaro again. Milan have got it clear. Abraham for Pulisic, now Bastoni's gone lunging in. I don't recall Inter getting this many yellow cards in a single game for a long time.
Yeah, me either. I think, to be fair, Conceição is keeping Pulisic on the park because he sees the opportunity to go into the penalty because he was struggling. This is no, A nice one from Bastoni, to be fair.
High challenge indeed. And now we are seeing maybe that Inter are missing Acerbi and Pavard, still out injured. They've done very well to perform in the absence of those two first-choice defenders as part of their back three. They haven't made a lot of noise about it, haven't been complaining too vocally, but this evening we have seen some deficiencies at the back. One by Darmian, Aslani for Carlos Augusto. Zielinski now, as we move towards the added time. Final minute of the 90. Just a throw in, not a corner.
Yeah, but what a job is Fofana doing every single game he plays in.
With no rest either. Zielinski. Cleared away by Loftus-Cheek. Not sure what Calabria was doing there. Played to the whistle.
Yeah, I think there, to be fair, even Taremi could have... It was clear that Zielinski was looking for that pass, maybe to receive the ball back and going for a shot. Taremi read it too late.
5 minutes to decide if we're going to have a winner in the 90 minutes or whether we will go straight to penalties to see who claims the EA Sports FC Super Cup. Inter going for an unprecedented 4 in a row for 9 all told. Taremi, Lautaro Martinez. It's behind Carlos Augusto. He won't keep it in play.
Yeah, look like Patrick that Inter are trying to win it now, and as you say, the AC Milan will be happy to go into the penalties.
Pulisic. Risky ball out there. That's because Inter will remember exactly what happened last year against Napoli. Lautaro Martinez scoring in the first minute of added time, the only goal. Here is Lautaro Martinez. He wanted to do it again.
Yeah, good try there. Taremi winning the aerial challenge, and then Lautaro trying to surprise Mognon.
We shouldn't forget that Sergio Conceição is also playing for his future as Milan boss. He technically has a deal that runs until the summer of 2026, an 18-month contract, but Milan, just as they did with Paulo Fonseca, do have a unilateral option to cut ties this summer. The way things are going, if Conceição could start by winning a derby to claim a piece of silverware, that would go a long way towards keeping the job. But you do feel it will probably come down to qualifying in the Champions League places, which is difficult now with Inter, Atalanta and Napoli so far ahead. Looks to be almost between Milan and Juventus in terms of big clubs for that fourth spot.
Yeah, then we're going to see if Lazio can keep the pace they are keeping. It would be a bad start to start with a piece of silverware, just being 2 games into your job.
Tomori, it's a wayward pass, straight to Dumfries. This will give Inter encouragement. Dumfries for Taremi. Maignan was always going to get that. Theo Hernandez has been so heavily criticised, but he's had a key role in both goals. Scored the first, made the second. Here's the score of that second, Christian Pulisic. Through it goes for Rafa Leao! And there's Abraham to win the Super Cup! The mother of all turnarounds in Riyadh for Milan. Inter looked like they were going to make it 4 in a row, but somehow in this second half, Sergio Conceição's side have scored 3 times without reply, and in added time, it's Abraham, the ace in the pack.
Patrick, again Leao making the difference for his team. When this player is in the mood, is unstoppable. Great run being spotted by Pulisic, I think. And then Abraham scored the easiest goal of his career. And this look, wonderful ball in by Pulisic. Look, the Leao run. And Tommy Abraham there, easiest goal in his career. But this means a Super Cup in a derby.
Tammy Abraham once scored a match-winning brace in the Derby della Capitale. That was just bragging rights on the line when he was a Roma player. Now, as a Milan player, he's scored the goal that means back-to-back derby wins for Milan. Surely it's not over quite yet, and it does mean a first Super Cup for them in a long while, since 2016. And it looks like Inter's reign in this competition is coming to an end. 3 straight trophies, but then Sergio Conceição came along. Talk about character.
No, Patrick, this is unreal. Thought that Inter was going to try to win it, but when those players are combining up front.
Bastoni with the ball in. Inter could yet level here. It's broken the way of Bisek. We've pretty much played the 5 added minutes. We'll have another minute or 2. Bisek kept quiet by Theo Hernandez, who is loving it tonight. And are we seeing a shift in the balance of power, at least when this fixture is concerned? Inter won 6 in a row. It looks like it's going to be 2 on the bounce for Milan, and in wonderful circumstances for them as well. Because it's one thing winning, it's another coming from 2-0 down to win.
Yeah, of course, this is a huge one. In a Super Cup final, Patrick, don't forget that, because winning a derby and then leaving a trophy in front of your enemy, sportive talking obviously, is a beautiful thing.
The crowd here booing, they want the final whistle. Milan have won the header. Leao, what a cameo from him off the bench, and to think he isn't 100% fit. Milan asking Simone Sozza to blow for full time. Bastoni goes direct. Dumfries got his head to it. Fratesi needs to keep it in play, he can't. And I think we now know the destination of the Super Cup. The last time they won it was in Doha. What a feeling for Francesco Camarda as well. 16 years of age, he's about to get his hands on a winner's medal. Mehdi Taremi getting the ball out of the net and spotting it for Maignan, who is well within his rights to take his time over this. But we missed this in the derby when Inter were winning 6 on the bounce. A bit more jeopardy, knowing which way the game would go. After 3 consecutive Super Cups, Inter's run is over. Milan claim it with the most extraordinary comeback in Riyadh. Sergio Conceição, in only his 2nd game in charge of the Rossoneri, has inspired this second half fight back. They trailed by 2-0 early on in the 2nd period, but then Leao came on, Theo came to life, and Abraham won it in added time. He's had the flu, he's been under the weather. This Milan side had 24 hours fewer to prepare, not a full squad to pick from. And yet through sheer gut and determinations and quality as well, the Rossoneri have come from behind here. Simone Inzaghi doesn't win 4 in a row, and after all that talk about Inter evening up Juventus's tally of 9 Super Cups, it's now the 8th triumph for Milan. They move level with Inter, all that after Inter beat them to win their 2nd star back in the spring. 2 straight derby victories for Milan, and after Gabbia, this time around Manuel Pascali, it's Tammy Abraham, the hero of the hour.
Yeah, but this is some story to be fair. Thinking about being Conceição, 2 games being on the AC Milan bench, you won against Juve, then you won a derby, in the Super Cup final, you're gonna lift a trophy. People that worked with him, under him, said But you can see he's a manager that's got heart, passion. You can see he's immediately into AC Milan players, into their heart.
Mehdi Taremi on the losing side against his former coach. He got his second goal for Inter, it looked like, into a well on their way at that stage to make it 4 in a row. But Tammy Abraham was a late substitution sent on by Sergio Conceição. Rafa Leão changed the game, and a word for Theo Hernandez as well, the scorer of a free kick to halve the deficit, the provider of Pulisic's equaliser. And it does appear there are brighter days ahead under Sergio Conceição after much misery for Milan this season. And they will take their time now in savouring this piece of silverware. It's their first trophy, incidentally, since they won the Scudetto in 2022 when they beat Inter to the title. Well, tonight they've beaten Inter to the title again. And for once, Inter are going to have to watch on, as they did in the 2023 Champions League final, whilst another team celebrates and lifts the trophy.
Yeah, I don't know if, Patrick, anyone around the world would have guessed £1, €1 on AC Milan to win this game after being 2-0 down. But when you go, obviously AC Milan got quality players. When Theo, Leão are playing like that, Pulisic, don't forget him. Again, providing a fantastic ball in for Leão for the winning goal. Anything can happen. When in the right mood, they can hurt any team around Europe with the quality they've got, especially going forward.
This competition does mean a lot to those teams. You can see it from Inter's reaction. You could tell from how they feted it and celebrated it in recent years. But Zlatan Ibrahimovic, in his new role as a senior advisor to the ownership, now gets his first piece of silverware since being in that upstairs role, having been part of the team on the pitch that won the Scudetto in 2022. And Sergio Conceição, if he's this good when he's under the weather, just imagine what he can achieve when he's fit and firing with a full night's sleep.
That's, I think, the main problem he has to solve, Patrick, because we've seen AC Milan on their day beating Inter, playing so well against Real Madrid as well. The problem was the consistency. Now Sergio Conceição has to work on that, because we've seen AC Milan giving wonderful performances, then playing so bad against the so-called small teams. So he's got a big job to do, but it's not a bad start.
It's hard to lose a derby. Ordinarily, after you do lose one, you go home and sleep in your own bed. These two teams share a ground at San Siro. It's going to be a long trip home for Inter. It's going to be a triumph of a flight back to Milan for the Rossoneri. And Simone Inzaghi has now lost each of his last 2 derbies. First to Fonseca, now to Conceição. And you start to wonder if they can play like this in one-off matches. Might Milan be targeting success in Europe as opposed to doing something domestically? They're still a long way off that, but...
Yeah, Patrick, you never know, because they've got the quality, they've got the players, Patrick. This is, without doubt, we watched last night Roma against Lazio, and we say the same things. Roma have got a wonderful team, wonderful players, and we can say the same about AC Milan. And I think since the derby they lost last season, that cost them, you know, giving the chance to Inter to win the second stars, the 20th Scudetto, from their own eyes. This you can see what meant for all the AC Milan players.
It stings for Inter. They had made this trophy their own. They beat Juventus, they defeated Milan, they won against Napoli, but now in their 4th straight final they've come unstuck. Simone Inzaghi, who had looked like he was invincible in this competition, well, he's encountered his kryptonite this evening. Tammy Abraham is going to take the Player of the Match award, perhaps, from the looks of it, having scored the winner. Indeed. Well, the match winner ended up winning the awards, but this is another piece of silverware for the entire squad. Liao, Teo et al. Abraham's name goes down as the match winner. Milan are the latest victors in the EA Sports FC Super Cup. And no wonder Luigi De Siervo is smiling. This has been exactly what the organisers would have wanted when they took it to Saudi Arabia. A derby, and a derby that played out in these circumstances.
Yeah, of course, what a wonderful game of football this has been. Here, the winning goal. It's a good story for Abraham as well, Patrick, because he's been on the sidelines for long periods, but you can see his attitude, his commitment. He's been different class every time. Even if he was not playing or he was playing 5-10 minutes, he was always the first to bring enthusiasm, joy. You can see he's a nice guy, and he deserves this goal after the hard work, hard shift he put.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic will feel vindicated as well. He took the difficult decision to relieve Paulo Fonseca of his duties. He did apologise about the manner in which the former head coach was dismissed. They put him up in front of the media in a press conference before then deciding to officially inform him he was out of a job. But they seem to have got his successor right. A win against Juventus from behind, a win against Inter from behind.
And both with the late goals, because the Gatti own goals first, the semi-final, then Abraham goal here in the derby. This means that Conceição started the job properly. Now he's got 4 or 5 months to reach the target of the Champions League spot.
And 2 winnable games on paper next. Cagliari, the next visitors to San Siro, then a trip to the Senigallia to take on Como before his next tough match, a team he's already faced, Juventus away on the 18th of January. Inter will try and gather their thoughts and go again to try and win back-to-back league titles. They've made no secret of the fact that they believe they can win the Champions League as well. But this night belongs to Milan after a second half which had a bit of everything. We'll leave you with the statistics. We'll be back very shortly to talk you through the trophy presentation.